Hi and welcome to the Naval Tech Tinkerer. Today we're gonna continue with the battery build pack. I had an original plan, and that was to use a constant DC source to take this 10S battery pack that I've been building for my son's boat. But there are issues, there are a lot of issues. It gives me a non-standard way of charging them, and so what I did was that I ordered these, which are two more. And that took a long time. The shipping company was just insane. From I think it's Holland, Belgium. I remember where they shipped from. Um, yeah, it took 2 months to Sweden. Kind of insane. So I've been on a hold here, waiting and waiting, just hoping that it would arrive. But now they're finally here. So the problem is that if you look here, I have this glass fiber tape here, which is really good. But and I only have one of these left, the separators in between, and these are important so that they can never touch each other. So they're pretty thick, the ones I have, but since I have this glass fiber mat, I just 3D printed one of these so that this thickness would kind of match this one, since I don't want to remove this glass fiber tape. I don't have endless of it. It's not expensive, it's just I don't have the time and I just want to get done. So I 3D printed one of these so that the thickness would kind of match. It doesn't really match. It doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to put one cell here. Then I'm going to use this one and the next one. And then I'm going to put glass fiber tape around it. So yeah, that's what we're going to do now. And then I'm going to put everything, hopefully, in the box that I've been 3D printing. And I had so much issues with it. It's ridiculous. I am actually trying to salvage my 3D print repair box, 3D printed battery box. Yeah, you're gonna see it soon. It hopefully 3D printed, and then we're gonna weld with acetone to make it hopefully work. I don't know. Let's see. Let's get going. So I have now taken all the 3D printed protections off, and the reason is that I haven't been working with this for like 6 months, and since they haven't been connected with the BMS, I just measure with a multimeter that these are 3 volts, and yeah, these were balanced before, so they were perfectly, I think, 3.2. So I might have to raise these up with a constant DC power supply. And what I really want to do is to make sure that all of them are at the same voltage before connecting them in series. I mean, the BMS with this balancer that I have on it, yeah, it's gonna solve that, but I just think it's nice to do it correctly from beginning, having 3.2 or whatever they are at now. So let's test that. And as I expected, all of them actually were not 3.2. I have actually charged them to 3.3, but these ones are 3 volts, which is at the really lower end that you would ever want to keep them. But it's good when you ship them to keep them at low charge, since they don't have any energy, very little energy left in them. Anyways, I will have to quickly balance charge these up to get them to 3.3. That might actually take a while. These are 105 amp hour batteries. So yeah, one way I could do it a little bit quicker is that I could actually push these together so I could double the voltage that I'm charging with. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I have connected them in series, as you can see there, and I have measured the voltage. It's 6.1. So we have this a little bit lower. So we start with a little bit lower amps. On the video they'll start shining. Trust me, they don't look like this in for real, but I'm just gonna keep cranking this up now. We can see that we're pushing. So because there's a voltage difference, it's able to push a lot of amps in. So let's go nice and slow with it and measure a little bit heat and stuff like that. So I have been reading up a little bit while waiting here for LFP cells, and I knew that they're quite different from the NMC cells. And since the charge curve on these are so extremely flat, and these are kind of, yeah, I don't know, between 30 and 60% full, and the voltage difference is just so tiny. It's like this one is 3.27 and this one is 3.35. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that means that this cell is actually very much charged and this one is not that much charged. So the only way to get this really well, so I don't connect them in series and then I put them up and then think that okay, the BMS would solve this imbalance of the cells. What's going to happen is that if I do that and I charge it fully up, then this one is quickly going to reach the 3.65 volt limit, And this one will still be like on 50% charge. And since the lowest cell here will design the whole pack charge, I mean how much capacity it has, because this one will then reach the limit of the lowest when the BMS thinks that, okay, we're discharging, we're all happy, everything is fine, and then this one reaches like 3 volts, and this one is still going to be on 3 point something. Yeah, that isn't just going to work well. So the only way I think I have to do right now is actually to tear this down again and put these into parallel for at least 24 hours. And then I'm gonna first charge this up a little bit so the voltage difference between these are not that big. So I'm trying to get them to like 0.05% voltage difference or even less. So yeah, that sucks. I was kind of hoping to get somewhere, but this is kind of typical when you work with these things. You have to be careful, you have to think about what you're doing, and you have to read books. If you're into doing these things, don't do this if you're not willing to read books about it and research it before you actually start, because it's dangerous. I use these ones, I use my rubber gloves when I work on them, and yeah, I am kind of not super excited on putting these into parallel. I have a huge respect for cells like this, even though, I mean, it's mostly safe, but it doesn't take a lot. I, for example, don't like these exposed cell. That's why I 3D printed these, because I know what can happen. You sit there with a tool and accidentally touch somewhere and boom, you would have a fire. So I'm extremely careful here. That's why you don't see metal here either. It's wood, and yeah, I just try to avoid anything that can give me trouble. But I think I actually have to do that. I have to tear this glass fiber tape off, try to save some of it, because I won't have a way to put 12 cells and put compression into it. So I will have to rely on the compression I can create by hand and hope that's enough for the longevity. This is just a hobby project. This is not like it's going to be on my house. Who knows? But I want to do it well and right. So what it means is that I will have to take this off, then flip all the positives on one side and then all the negatives on one side, and then connect them in parallel so that they become like one single cell. So they really balance out with each other. But to do that, I need to make sure they are extremely close to each other in voltage. So yeah, that's today's job then. So I have been trying to balance these cells. Like I said before, these are used cells, and to get these, I mean, before I put them together in series, I absolutely need to know that they're equalized, meaning that they are holding the same capacity. And the way you do that is usually that you put all the positives and all the negatives together. But that is also the most scary thing you could ever do, because if you put two of these that are holding totally different charge levels, you could get a current rush from one to the other. And well, let's say like this, the this would get very useful. So during the night, and during the whole evening yesterday, you see I put the series to be able to increase the voltage as I try to pull those up, and they are now pretty similar to these. This cell though is 3.36, so, and most of these are 3.33, 3.32 and so forth, and I want to get them as close as humanly possible to being the same voltage. And I saw a funny video where one guy put actually resistors. And what is a resistor? Well, this is a resistor. So if it would be some current rush here, it would blow this one. So it would act as like a fuse in itself. But this is a way to burn off. So this is the highest cell I have. And I don't want to charge every single one to this level. I'd rather take the lowest one, fill it up, and then the highest one and pull it down. So yeah, I'm trying to, it gets warm. It's actually quite nice and hot, but I guess it's like 50 watts being generated. It's, yeah, nice and warm. So this is a 55 watt lamp. So I'm burning off 55 watt of this one, which is really low. I mean, it could discharge in 1 hour the whole, what is it, 105 times 3.2, so yeah, 330, 340 watts in one of these cells. And if I'm taking 50, that is and this is a 3C battery, meaning you can discharge the whole one in 20 minutes when it's new. I know it's not new, but this is, what is it, like 0.1C discharge rate. So it's slow and steady, but I don't need to pull it down a lot. I just want to pull it down to the level that the other ones are at, instead of filling all of them up. So if we calculate amps, yeah, that's like 10 amps. Wonder if these would get hot. Probably would. So I took them off and let it sit a little bit, and of course it almost immediately jumped up to what it was before. So measuring that while having this resistor on, burning off energy, yeah, that was yeah, as expected. It just jumped up after I disconnected it. So gonna have to let this run and sit here for a while. But it's a good way. It's drawing like 10 amps, I guess. I don't have my other multimeter, so I can't message how many amps are actually flowing through the cables, which is really irritating. So I'm starting to write down voltages here, but I don't think it's really necessary. Looked at Ohm's law and started looking, and I don't really think I need to do this too much more, but I just want to highlight that I have these two in series, and if I put pressure down, you can see what happens. You can see there, just because you have metal on metal doesn't mean that you have a great connection. I mean, I have this whole bus bar here. I actually have to put a little bit pressure here, and then it's good. But yeah, that kind of highlights the need to really keep clean surfaces here when you connect them in series or parallel later, to have some good connection. I'm just going to burn off a little bit, and then I'm actually going to take all this tape away, which is going to destroy this plastic around these, because this tape is actually really sticky. So that actually creates another issue. I will have a lot of exposed outside here, and since the outside is the negative pole, yeah, that is a risk. So I'll see if I have some of this blue plastic that I can reattach. I actually think I have, so let's see if it fits. Okay, and now we have a little bit redneck engineering. Everything is cool and nice. It's as you can see, security rope to take it out. So from outside I have now taken the cells in and carried them in. Also a little bit under pressure still, since I'm holding them in together like this. As you can see, it became a little bit redneck engineering, as I would call it. But it's okay. I am charging it now on 3.6 volts, and it's pushing about 3 amps. And if we just do some quick calculation, this should be almost 1300 amp hour battery. Like, it actually becomes one big cell right now, since everything, all minuses are here and all positives are here. So yeah, there's no heat anywhere. This is exactly how I want it to be. I am just trickle charging this slowly upwards. But I mean, if it does 3 amps or 3.4 amps per hour, and I have 1000, yeah, almost 1300 or 1250-ish, 30-ish. Yeah, this is gonna take some time. Like, if we just calculate 3.5 amps per hour, and then we have 24 hours, so 24 times 3 point something, so we have 80 amp hours per day, and we had 1300. I don't know where these are on state of charge, but what's going to happen is that even though they have almost the same voltage, this might be 60% and that could be 30. So when they are now in parallel, they're going to equalize, and as I fill it up, the lowest state of charge is going to take the most, and they're just going to kind of balance out all the way. So the question is, do I actually need to balance it all the way up to 3.65? I don't think so. I think if I did it to 3.4, that should be kind of fine. But yeah, I think I might have to ask in the forum. So here we are again. I am trying to trickle charge this up, and at this speed, if you see here, it's 3.627 volts here, and it's 3.22 amps being pushed into this huge battery pack. And that is a bit too slow. That will take over a week. So why is this 10 amp charger just doing 3? Well, I think it has to do with this small measly wires. I think there's just too much resistance. So I'm going to try to double that up or even triple that up so I could get this up to 10 amps. Because, yeah, if I do that, I think that we can continue this in 2 days instead of like 7 or 12 days. So, yeah, I think that's going to be my final project for this weekend. I have actually also tried to fix here my 3D printer. I think I screwed something up because this one doesn't lock here anymore like it used to. So, yeah. Well, that's how it is. So let's do that and then look at the final results for this weekend's work. So here we are. I put two thicker lines together as one, and alligator clips is not safe. So I switched out to these ones that I could screw on. So let's turn it on again. Hope no crazy voltage. No, 3.3. Still does 3.3. We could go higher. Let's see where we can go. Turns out I was, of course, just turning the old knob. So this is the amps and this is the voltage. So I took it off, put it to 3.64, and then I put it on, and still same amperage. I was like, why isn't it moving? Well, dumbass, because I haven't moved the amperage. So now it's 5.33. So these are thicker cables, probably more than double as thick as before, and they're shorter. So since it's doubled up here, it's delivering twice the amps. And well, maybe not twice, but 5.3 is days of charging that I don't have to wait. So, and 5.3 is totally fine. So, yeah. So, thanks for this weekend's follow up. Hope that I can continue this and get done before my son's birthday so he could actually go out and drive this awesome speedboat. So, yeah, this is the setup. Now I'm just gonna let it sand and hopefully it will get up to 3.6 volts. I don't really want to do 3.65 because they're used. I don't want to push it to the max. I don't know if there's something wrong with them. Could be. Who knows? So anyways, cheers. See you next weekend.